Here's a question that I get asked from time to time, and it's a legit question. When is the best time to make health changes? And hear me when I say that, I'm not being silly, but a lot of people understand that we have seasons, right? The seasons really impact when we do things. For example, when you make a parasite cleanse, you want to really start it at the full moon, right? When is it easier for you to make some health changes that set you up for a little more success, right? So I get this question often from that perspective. And I mean, let's think about it. Right now, we've just passed January and the new beginning of the year and New Year's resolutions where everyone intentionally says, I'm going to make some changes. Let's get healthier. Okay, February, unfortunately, is the month of giving up. Sorry, guys, but it is. That is typically what happens because people find they just can't sustain, they need some motivation, or they try something really extreme that they just cannot maintain, and they do it all or nothing, black or white, overnight, and then they just give up. So, the short answer to when is the best time to make health changes is yesterday, or last week, or last month, or last year, because the answer to when is the best time to make health changes, it's before diseases turn on. It's before the cancer shows up. It's before diabetes comes about. It's before blood pressure is so through the roof, you just can't control it naturally anymore. It's before the autoimmune disease turns on. It's before the Alzheimer's and dementia shows up, right? That is truly the best time to make all those changes, right? I'm gonna back up a little bit because these are obvious things, but let's be fair. We all enter this life with a little different circumstances, right? Different genes, genetic makeups, different stressors, right? It's a little different. I'm going to share just a snippet of my own personal story of how I got to where I am, right? We all have our own story. I get so many people that are like, oh, you're just the epitome of health, Lisa. Wow, you must have no health issues. Actually, let's talk, right? So when my mom was pregnant with me in the 60s, long ago, things were different. They had a different approach. They thought they were cutting edge. So much was going on with science and space race, right? Oh, we know what we're doing with everything. Look at us go. The doctors put my mother on diet pills when she was pregnant with me, the whole pregnancy, and told her not to gain more than 15 pounds. Oh, we do things a little different now, right? Well, as you can imagine, that certainly had an impact on me. Here's the other thing that the doctors told her: don't breastfeed, because that's for poor people and that's a cultural thing that you don't want. What's best for your baby back then was formula. If you can imagine that, something synthetic. So when I came into this world, mom doing the best she could with the guidance she had during that time, that's what happened. And of course, as you can imagine, I was born a very low weight baby. I wasn't even 5 pounds, y'all. Yeah, so my lungs weren't fully developed. A lot of other things had turned on because all those chemicals from the diet pills, yeah, you can imagine what they did, right? So my body was set a little off. And the first year of my life, I had pneumonia 5 times because my lungs weren't fully developed and my immune system was not in place, right, as we know now. Well, so this is an example of how I came into this world and how my genes were, right, and what happened to me. So my own genes are a big old mess. I have gene mutations and my immune system can be not as strong as others, just the way I came into this world. So this can happen with lots of people. It doesn't matter what you're doing now or to affect what had happened, things that are completely out of your control, right? But how do you go about making changes, and what what is that transition? So let me just mention this. If you have never had your genome sequencing done, I highly recommend it. I'm not, I don't have any specific companies that I work for or rep, nothing like that. There's a lot of them out there. There's 23andMe, not my first pick. My first pick would probably be sequencing.com, and that's just because it's way more in depth. Costs a little bit more, but you get so much more out of it. But here is the warning if you do that. If you want to know something about your genes so that you can approach your health and you decide to get your genetic genome sequencing done, before you look at the results, go with the mindset of, I am going to use this information for prevention, not fear. Because as soon as most people see their results, they get freaked out. Oh my God, I have this disease and this cancer and I could get all of these things. And people immediately think this is going to happen. Oh my God, my genes are a mess. I'm going to get all these cancers and it's going to be horrible. This just means you are predisposed to that. The way to use this information is, let's not turn those genes on. This is all about prevention, and this is what I teach all day long. I would much rather help you make some health changes before the moments happen and you go to the doctor and you get the diagnosis. So let's just not turn those genes on. So if you get your genome done and you have all the information, this is what you want to do. Take that information at first and go away from fear. Step out of the fear-based mode of, oh my God, what am I going to do? And transition it to prevention, okay? Allow yourself some time to look at your information, look at your genes, just look at your situation and where you are and your family history, and simply start with the mindset of, I want to prevent this disease, this illness, this whatever, and have better health. So give yourself time. How much time? For some people, it could be a few months. For some people, it could literally be a few years. Because what I'm talking about is building habits of, I'm going to prevention, right? When you get new habits in place, you are now in maintaining health, keeping health. I am healthy. I'm going to stay that way. This is where you actually want to be. Even if you've already had a diagnosis and you have some illnesses, you've now made changes in your habits and you're going to shift to consciously saying, yeah, now I'm maintaining my health and I'm going to keep going, and how much healthier can I get? Because what happens is when you're in fear mode, you are literally going to draw the diseases and draw the uh-ohs and draw the, oh my God, panics and horrible things to you. When you are over here, you are empowered to draw to yourself more health. And maybe new things will show up and new people will show up and new classes and a new way of approaching your health naturally will show up because you're looking for it and you're excited about it. When you get to where your mind is excited about health and you're not in just prevented because I have to, but you've switched to yes, I get to keep healthy, keep my mind, keep my body moving. That is where you have the most success. And it's not just a diet for 4 weeks and then you give up. This is habits that will keep you for a lifetime. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I love helping people do. This is why I always say, join your local food co-op. Get a community going of support for helping you through making those new changes to healthier ways. And if there's any way we can help you at the co-op, reach out to us. Please, shopnaturalliving.com is the way to reach us.